Hey, good morning, everyone. Dave Wilson of Results Staffing. I'll tell you what, I hope everybody had a great holiday. I have a great guest today, Mr. Kimothy Moore of Moore Staffing, and we're going to be right back right after this commercial. You know how we always say it. Whoa. So Kim, how'd you like that?
It was awesome. Love it.
Wasn't it? Oh, geez. Hey, Steve Farrell. This gentleman right here works for Elwood, Kimberly, and he's in Utah.
Oh, how you doing, Steve?
Yeah, he comes on the show a lot. We do shows on Sunday, and he has blown it away with social media. We were talking, doing things, and he's an amazing man, and he's definitely one that you want to connect with on LinkedIn. Hey, everybody, this morning I want to, you know me with staffing and just finding new kind of companies and to learn all the time what I do. And Mr. Kimothy Moore here he's the founder, chief executive officer at Moore Staffing. And I just want to introduce you to him. And Kimothy, could you it's yours. Can you tell us about yourself?
How you doing? Well, as you know, my name is Kimothy Moore. I'm the founder of Moore Staffing out here in Pennsylvania. And I'm just great to be here. Great. I'm very excited that Dave invited me on the show to talk a little bit about Moore Staffing.
What do you have you got to tell everybody, Kim, what you do. And I couldn't believe how you do it across all states.
All right. Well, I do staffing for stores that's going out of business.
Right.
Liquidation where like recently we had a big liquidation with the Toys R Us, the Kmart, and the company get in contact with my company, the corporate over there get in contact with my company, and they asked me, hey, well, we need like 50 guys to help us with our liquidation. They call it a liquidation manager. They call me. I get a couple of guys. We go out there. We hold signs for the store, just to advertise and to sell or the closing. Sometimes we mount signs on top of the cars. We let them drive around. And
I would love that job.
Well, it's a very good job.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the good part about it is only 5 hours a day. So we will work from like 11 to 4, 11 to 5.
Right.
You know, and you know, it's really a good position to have. The pay is great. And I've been doing it for like about 15 years.
Wow. And it's all over, right? Statewide, all.
Yeah, well, we in Ohio, California, we down south, Minnesota, we all over. We all over with it. It's all year round. It's not seasonal. It's all year round. So, you know, it's great. It's great. You know, I enjoy it.
That could keep you going, I can imagine.
It really does. It really does. And when I first started out, that was my niche, and that's all I used to do.
Right.
And it was so good, and it was so rewarding. I wanted to do something else, so
Right.
I got into a different niche, and that's the warehouse. I
Right.
started recruiting for the warehouse because I figured, hey, if I'm good doing this, why stop? Now we just go all the way with it. That's the great thing about staffing.
Right.
You don't have to just have one niche when it comes to staffing. If you're good at something, you take it for the long run, and that's what I'm doing. It's like I said, it's rewarding. I love it.
Right.
It's just great. It's just great.
This guy here, Steven, I know you're watching, Steve. Steve loves to go. Remember I told you about he does his live interviews right outside the companies that he's hiring for. He'll go out 11 o'clock at night and say, hey, we're having a job fair in the morning. He'll go out 6 in the morning, say, hey, don't forget to come out. And his business that he helps with Elwood has just increased so much with social media.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And I call him Clark Kent and Superman. Well, you'll end up meeting him because he's laughing about that, right? But he's got that when he takes his glasses off. We do a show on Sunday night, and we'll have to bring you on. And, Kim, what is oh, right here. Look, here he is. Facebook Live. So there you go, Kim. Look at that. It works. Steve, we'll bring Kimothy on. He's right in my neck of woods, like 30 minutes. We'll bring him on a Sunday night with our show when we talk about staffing a lot. It's great. We just talk together about new ideas.
Right.
And, Kim, what have you noticed? How did COVID affect your type of industry? How did it affect you and the candidates?
Well, when COVID came, then we had to actually stop for about 30 days. But the good thing about the outside advertising, we on the outside, so we just had to arrange where we don't have to go into the store. Anything we'll take our signs with us, bring them back the next day, and we just stand out there. So that part of my niche, when it comes down to the outside advertising, it really didn't hurt us as much as it hurt other people.
Right.
But with the warehouse portion of it, we was completely shut down, and it was. But what happened? What was so good about that is, even though the warehouse portion is shut down, I still could offer other people a job with
Right.
with the holding of the sign temporarily until we got back rolling. So I was doing that. I was moving some people around, but it worked out fine for me.
That is awesome, and I'm excited to work with you, Kim. I mean, I'm coming over next week. There's Steve. I always go back to Steve, but Steve, I'm going over there on Tuesday just to talk with the recruiters. And Steve knows me, how I just have that passion for, I've showed him stuff, and I've learned from Steve also. That's what's nice about LinkedIn. You get hooked up with everybody. And even though he's in Utah, I still tell him I have no clue what's in Utah. But, everything works differently for everybody. And if you were, I wanted to ask you, and I forgot, if there was something that, Kim, that we wouldn't know from talking about today, do you have any kind of like hobbies? Do you have anything that you do outside of work?
Well,
or you like?
Well, I guess family time,
Right.
Other than that, mostly I just work. I
love it.
Well, work. This is my hobby. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. I wake up thinking about staffing. I go to bed thinking about staffing. It's what I do, and it's like my safe zone.
Right.
I can't see myself really doing anything else but this here. Love it. Love it.
I'm excited to work with you, come over and just to get to know you more and be part of your team and just really, take it to the next level. Show everybody that how social media can really just explodes. It gets your name. It gets everybody out there. And just by doing this, the trust. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Love that. All right, Steve, I'm going to bring him on Sunday night. We're going to bring him on. All right. But what do you find with COVID and candidates right now? Does it affect the candidates? If it didn't affect you, but how's it affecting the candidates? Have you seen anything changing?
Well, see, this is it. In the warehouse position portion,
right?
It was a little bit of a disaster because when the COVID came, then of course the a lot of people went on unemployment,
right?
So we lost a lot of candidates, due to the COVID and the people going on unemployment, and it made staffing a little bit more challengeable. But
right.
But if I feel if you're a good recruiter, you should be up for the task,
right?
And I try to explain to my people, we already know what we're against,
right.
In the staffing world, the warehouse is still running. They still got to push out the merchandise. They still need people to help them push the merchandise out.
Right.
It was so bad that one owner called me and he was like, "Hey, Mr. Moore, we really need people. We got people coming out of office working in the warehouse because we can't find people." And when I speak to people, I like to at least be able to supply their needs. And if I can't supply their needs, I won't tell them.
Right.
So I know what the situation was. They knew what the situation was. So I told, hey, listen, we'll work together and we'll do our best at it. But at the end of the day, we'll get to where we need to be. So that means that if I got to stay up all night, if I have to be on the computer all night, sending out ads, if I have to walk the streets, handing out applications, I'm going to get them the people they need because this is what I do, and when once a client get in contact with me and decide to work with me, I want them to come back and come back and come back. So I'm going to give them all I got.
That is, you said so much there that what I believe in is, and I was telling you prior to this that I love peak. Everybody else doesn't like peak season. I thrive on it. And if a company needs 500 people, woo, I don't sleep, because I just like to show the power, and my expertise, my niche is finding candidates now, and then giving them up, but helping other companies. Because to me, even prior to meeting yourself or another company, I would look at my job boards, and if somebody was calling here and really needed a job, and if I didn't have any, I would say, hey, listen, Elwood Staffing is a good company. Go ahead and reach out to them. Oh, hey, Bill, Pittsburgh. Beaver. There he is. You got somebody from Pittsburgh, Kim, right there. So
hey, Bill, how are you?
Good.
Glad to meet you.
But like you said, you got to have that passion to do what it takes, because with staffing now, I believe it's just all over the place. Like,
yes.
What do you predict coming up? Do you predict anything or foresee something, challenges on 2021? Or,
well, I know it's going to get better.
Right.
I know it's going to get better. I always look for the future. I really don't operate on negativity. So I just keep pushing through and keep trying to help as many people out as I possibly could.
Right.
Constantly working with my team, more motivating them. to do their best and just taking it one day at a time. And every day we got to put our best foot forward. And this is what I strive on to keep everything together.
And that's what it is because if you don't, you take that foot off the pedal. I told you, like now, like people right now, it's 4 days. Some people have 4-day weekends this weekend, but I don't take my foot off. Today I'm working. And I told you that what I've learned is, in my experience, is I know recruiters out there, don't yell at me, but Steve will tell you, he started doing it, is reaching out to candidates on the weekend. I talked to you about having that burner phone for just text. Somebody texts, and, with single parents, have you, you don't know if the significant other has lost his job, her job, childcare. We don't know what's coming up with COVID now. Have you found any challenges? Do you have people calling in like for different shifts or?
Hey, yeah, well, over here I'm more staff, and we've been doing pretty good with the calls, the walk-ins, so we've been doing pretty good with. I think we could do a lot better, due to the circumstances. But we've been maintaining, we've been, sending people out to work.
Right.
And we get ready to do a job fair, hopefully coming up soon, and try to get more people. So, like I mentioned before, I just take it one day at a time, and I just try to, put my best foot forward and just keep on pushing through.
Now you're gonna have a job fair in the Allentown area.
Well, yes, I'm sure.
All over, right?
Well, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in Allentown by the PPL building. If they grant that, so that's the ideal spot. So I'm gonna try, But I had a friend this weekend. He asked me. He was like, "Well, what you gonna do for Thanksgiving?" And I mentioned to him, I said, "Well, I'm just gonna pray that it's over quick so I can get back to work."
Wow, Steve, you're gonna love this. Wow, that sounds like me. I just I like helping people, and right now, I hear. I was telling you before. Listen, I mean, I know what it's like to lose a job. I always tell people, reverse yourself. Reverse. If you're that candidate, if you haven't gone above and beyond, if they don't follow you, what you're doing, but if I'll go above and beyond for me to recommend them to just go to another company. Hey, I heard they're hiring. I know a contact. Here's an email or something. I just care. I think because now empathy and customer service, you said it, right. And starting my own company is taught me that, even though I didn't listen for 15 years. No, I did, but in a corporate world, it's a little bit harder versus what I can say now, what I can do now. And I tell the truth, which I didn't do. I didn't lie before, but I like being more honest. That didn't even make sense. To go that extra mile and send them down the street to another staffing company, just here, they're good people, go down there, and I've had people calling up crying, upset, families, and yourself, that hurts.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Dave, before I got into the staffing, I used to work in the warehouse. Before this happened, I used to drive a stand-up. Well, actually, I driven everything. There's no machine they have that I can't drive. And I was very good at what I used to do. That the company also had me train the newcomers to come in. So I know about the warehouse world. What's what actually goes on the inside, because I've been there. So when I'm interviewing people, for example, if I'm interviewing someone that's coming in, they want to be a forklift driver, I really don't even have to give them a test. I just can sit down and hold a conversation with them and let you know right then and there, would they be a good candidate to send out to work, because I experienced it. I know like I said before, I know what goes on. I know how to conduct the conversation with them during the interview, and pre-prepare them,
Right.
So, that's another thing that actually got me so interested into, the staffing with the warehouse.
On the warehouse. Bill said, my daughter lives in Allentown and works as an OT in Bethlehem. That's not far.
Oh, yeah, that's right down the street.
That's right down the street, right?
Yeah, neighbors.
Kim, have you noticed, I like these kind of questions.
Mm.
You're honest with the employees, your candidates that call up. Have you found yourself having talks with your clients more to teach them or educate them on what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you have to really find yourself doing that more than you did before?
Not really. Not really. Once I go in with a client, we pretty much get down to it. They tell me what they're looking for, what they want, and I'll let them know if I can apply it or not.
Right.
So off the back, we just get into business. But after we get that out of the way, I usually like to stay in contact with them, make sure they're happy with the service, and ask them, not a little question like, what can I do better to make you more happy? So my whole thing is satisfying my customers.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to strive that every day. Like I told you right after this, I have a couple people today to do interviews. And the way I like to give back is we call it Hire Me Friday on the Ring of Hire show, where now I don't really care, because I don't have the jobs for some people. And I feel bad because I want to be able to help. And I showed you about the video resume. I know you're excited to get involved with that.
Oh, absolutely.
It is. And when you can take a young person or anyone and place them in any state and show they're not just a resume,
right?
It's a perfect person that, like I told you, the time savings to be able to just ask the questions. If you have a test, and wow, this person really does have some skill sets. Let's bring her in, him, anybody in.
Right.
And I've told you, I'm always about the same thing. You'll learn about me is I always want to try something different. Just
right.
Now's the time. I always say now's the time. If you want to change it, to me, it doesn't matter if it's 500 people, 100 people, or 1,000. You have an excuse right now. I call it, you have COVID as an excuse. We can do this now because of COVID. So what I try to tell companies, and I'm going to bring it back to where you said you were flying, is we can take a candidate from point A by utilizing all the platforms here, screening, put 5 or 6 of them up on the screen, talk to them. We can get them through the drug screen, background, everything virtual. Now, if a company thinks outside the box and does a small video, and I always say Amazon on TV is getting better and better at their commercials because they show the position. They play some music in the background while they're doing a video. They show how clean it looks. So then you have your client that can come in their trainer and talk to the people, talk to 6 people, and then tell them where to go. Send the paperwork to them, have it all pre-signed. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you do it once or twice, it's going to save you candidates, because if they don't show up for their interview online, they weren't going to show up for you at your office.
You're absolutely right.
So, and we talked about that before, that sometimes you have to have 10 people to get 4.
Right. Right.
And I wanted you to bring up how I love saying this. How was it you used to do business with flying and?
Oh well, yeah. It was a time, like about 4 years ago. I've been in business for like about 15 years. Like I said, it was like 4 years ago. I used to have to fly state to state, where it was a point that I was never home. Because we have to. I used to have to go if I have a contract out in California. I fly out to California, get a hotel, stay down there, hire crew, interview them, train them. So
Right.
I'll be down there for like a month to make sure everything goes right. Because
Right.
Client first, have to satisfy the client. So I was little when it came down to trust issue. When I got into the staff, like you mentioned before, your interview 10, 4 show up. So I just didn't want to be so far away where I don't have no control over it.
Right.
Let's just fly down there, hire the people, train them, stay down there for a month, sometimes 2 months, and then after everything is good, the communication, the trust issues, and everything, hop back on a plane, fly down to Ohio, and this is what I used to do on just all the time. And just like a year ago, I don't have to do it anymore.
Right.
It's so what I do now, I will get them. I learned to trust people a little bit more, that they're gonna
Right.
do the right thing. And I had a friend, his name is Donald.
Right.
Straw cutter. Now, when I first got into this niche, he is actually the one who brought me in.
Right.
And, I met him through a friend. So he didn't know me at all, and he basically asked me. He said, "Well, listen here. We was in York, PA." He said, "Listen, I have 3 stores here in York, PA. I want you to run them." Right. I said, "Oh, well, yeah, okay, sure." He gave me $7,000, put in my hand, jumped in his car, took off. He didn't know me from Adam. And I'm like, wow, this guy just gave me $7,000, just took off, And it was me and my wife. And my wife was like, well, what we're gonna do? I said, we're gonna do what we're supposed to do. We're gonna run this store, and we're gonna run it to the T, because this guy, he trusts me.
Right.
It was a really good feeling, that he said, hey, here go the money, do what you're supposed to do. And I did what I was supposed to do. And so when I say this to say this here, he told me, he said, well, you have trust issues with people while you flying back and forth to
Right.
make sure everything goes well. He said, I didn't have trust issues with you when I first met you, did I? He said,
Right.
you gotta learn to trust people. 9 out of 10, most people gonna do what they're supposed to do.
That's
So I kind of, took his advice, and it saved. I don't have to fly no more. I mean, if I do have to jump on the plane, it's because it's something really, really serious.
serious.
Where the client is just not satisfied with the performance, and I have to go down there and straighten it out. But pretty much for the long run, I speak to the people over the phone. We gather the crew over the phone, and they go out there and they do their thing, and it's a good day. But this tool, what you just introduced me to, is like it's like the icing on the cake.
Thank you. That's what I'm.
If I would have had this back then, it would be. You know how much money I could have saved.
I know. And that's just being honest.
So this here is awesome. This is the tool that I have to have. You know, it actually it will make my job a lot easier. So having, because it's something when you're on one-on-one and you can see the person who you talk to, who you hiring.
Well, if you look at Bill right now, I know he said he had to run, but he'll watch recording later. We need to talk because my daughter is looking for a new OT job in that area. So like I told Bill, he's been on the show a couple of times, this is where that video resume screening that I told you, Mr. Moore, that it goes in. So now that you have that tool, she could utilize and do a video resume for you or myself. It doesn't matter, both, right?
Right.
She does that. You have the recruiters right now, and you put them to work. If they're a little bit slower, you can say, hey, do us a favor. Here's a video screening. Let's try to find somebody in Bethlehem. There's got to be another job out there for a direct hire. Your pricing can be, when it comes to pricing, I always would think if I lowered my percentage, because I know some of the direct hires are 20, 25, 30%. I don't have to be that high. And the reason I try to tell people it's not to undercut. It's not. But I don't have all the billboards. I don't have everything.
Right.
You know, so the expense and the experience I can send. I had this one time. Look who joined. Mr. Tuvia. Mr. Tuvia, you are going to have to connect out to Mr. Moore here, because let me tell you, Moore, this guy here is in Florida. And he's taught me how to do the $175 for forklift driver. And
oh wow.
What he does, he's a genius. He has all these phones. What's up? He uses that What's Up app, right?
Right.
But I'm gonna go off subject, but he staffs for in New York for years. So all he does for like $39.95, he'll post the jobs on LinkedIn. Doesn't matter. He has just post the jobs.
Oh, wow.
He has thousands and thousands because they refer people in his network. So when he always would tell me he goes to walk his dog, cha-ching. He gets in his car, Dave, cha-ching. He gets out of his car, cha-ching. And it takes him like 4 hours to post jobs, but for $39.95. And they fill it.
So he posts jobs for various companies.
Yeah, and he posts them on LinkedIn. He posts them everywhere. So they pay him the $39, or some of them are there for one job posting. He'll post that job, but he has such in New York, and he's in Florida. He has such thousands for the years that he's done of people that when he posts a job, they all get, it goes to his what's up, however you call that thing.
Right.
And it goes automatically there, and he posts that job. Wow. And if you look on LinkedIn and you hook up with Tuvia, you'll see how he just posts 4 to 5 jobs. That's it.
Wow. Yes. Please send me an invite.
See you go, Tuvia. So you got to send an invite. And this man here, he has helped me so much and doesn't charge me. He is just we spend time talking a lot on different ideas, and I've learned a lot from him. You know, but I want to thank you. I mean, I can't thank you enough for coming onto the show. Tim? I know I put on here your information. I know it's scrolling across here. I put your email. I want to make sure. Let's see how good I did and put your telephone number. Did I put? All right, there's your email. All right, your phone number, and then we'll add that to it, but we'll post that on there. What is it? What hours are you open? And
well, 10 to 5, but like I'm here all the time.
All right.
But the hours is 10 to 5.
All right. See. Oh, he will. Right after this, Tuvia, you friend connect. And I'm serious, Kim, you got to talk to this guy. He just will blow your mind away and his ideas. But if somebody wants to get a hold of you for a job, what's the process? Do they go to your website? Do they go?
They could go to my website, fill out an app. It comes direct to me. I give them a call. If they are close by, they can either walk in. I'm at 725 North 15th Street in Allentown, and
Okay.
I can take care of them.
All right. Now here's what my favorite part. 30 seconds. If you had that elevator pitch and you had advice for candidates right now, and what you do is what do you say? What do you tell candidates looking for work? And I know you really come across as a heartfelt person, honest, truthful. You want to help people. What would you tell the candidate today?
Hey, listen, if you want work, if you're having a hard time finding work, look me up. I can get you work. If not, I tell you what, if I don't have exactly what you're looking for, I will become your headhunter and get you what you're looking for. I mean, I really go out the bat for my candidate. Just it all begins with the candidate making the first step and coming to see me, calling me up, and we'll get to work and.
No, that's awesome. And that's what I mean. It's just like, the guys on your Tuvia Bill, Steve, thanks, but they all have a lot of good ideas. And if I didn't have a job, I send it to somebody else. Because if I can't help them, what does it hurt to send them to another company? Because it's going to come back to you. If they get hired, they're going to say, oh, that Kimothy Moore, he helped me,
I tell you what, if that's something I don't like to do, is send my candidate to someone else. It makes me feel like I didn't do my very best. If I have to send you to someone else, believe me, it's because I exhausted all options. I don't have nothing else. But that's very rare for me.
Right.
If you
that's where your experience of all the years, when you're new starting out, it's hard because you're starting all over for your own business. But when, like you said, you got 15 years, you got contacts, so many people, in this industry. So please, everybody, reach out to Kimothy Moore of Moore Staffing in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's also nationwide for all your positions. You did pretty good. You did good.
Thank you.
You come on live, you never know really what you're saying. You are being honest. That's what this gentleman Tubi is all about. And he preaches to me all the time, Dave, just be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, So on that note, everybody, please be safe this weekend. If you're off looking for a job, call Mr. Kimothy Moore, everything. And we're going to have him on the show on a Sunday night with Tuvia and Steven. So it'll be a lot of fun. So everybody enjoy yourself. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Dave, for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And we are going to end it. We always